Okay, this is a data for experiment 3. So observation, this is data tabulation for primary data. So L0 given here is 68.8 cm. So they give you length and resistance R. Okay, you have to find L0 over L and 1 over R. Okay, so complete the data table by calculating the values of L0 over L and 1 over R. And then you plot graph L0 over L against 1 over R. Okay, lepas you plot graph, okay, graph L0 over L. Okay, then 1 over R. Negative 1. Alright, so you akan kira centroid point macam biasa. Centroid point mesti kira tau, jangan lupa. Okay, calculate centroid point. Top plot graph. Calculate centroid point. Okay, lepas tu dah calculate centroid point and then you plot. So you akan garis lah, kan? Got the best fit line kan? Okay, tapi sekarang masalah kita, data ni, you punya tabulation data dia tu macam tak cantik. So, you ambil lah satu atau dua point yang paling best yang you boleh garis untuk you dapatkan satu best line. Okay? Alright, and then you compare with equation of straight line graph. Y equal to mx plus c. Okay? So as long as intercept dia tu dekat positif, kita acceptable lah Okay. So lepas tu kita akan dapati gradient. Okay, dia suruh you kira gradient. Determine the gradient of the straight line graph. Okay, cari gradient. Lepas dah calculate centroid point, dah dapat best fit line. Okay, so cari gradient graph. So gradient graph, as you know, dia punya formula adalah M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So, you akan dapatlah gradient. Okay. So, based on equation, compare equation with straight line graph, you akan dapat gradient is equal to R. Okay, ni kira gradient lah. So, full stop sampai sini lah. Okay, then, determine the internal resistance of the dry cell R. Jadi, bila kita compare equation, kita tahu M ni sama dengan internal resistance kan. So M yang dapat dekat sini, okay, is equal to R. Jadi bila nak tulis, okay, bila nak tulis nanti, make sure you tulis lah the gradient of the straight line graph yang you dapat adalah M plus minus delta M lah. Okay, ni delta M, jangan lupa. So unit. And then dikata determine the internal resistance of the dry cell. Okay, dia adalah cara tulis dia R plus minus delta R dalam ohm lah. So as you know, dia kata M ni sama dengan R kan. Jadi sebenarnya dua-dua ni adalah benda yang sama lah. Okay, lepas tu you dah dapat lah internal resistance is equal to apa. Okay, so settle yang tu. And then jangan lupa calculate dia punya percentage uncertainty. Okay, percentage uncertainty sama dengan apa? Delta R over R times with 100 lah. Kalau nilainya less than 10%, okay lah. Tapi kalau more than 10% means that dia ada banyak error. Okay. Alright, so lepas you dah kira percentage uncertainty, you sambung dengan discussion. Okay, and then for discussion, you can write the experimental value of the internal resistance of the dry cell is given by berapa yang you dapat. You tulis dekat situ. There is no theoretical value for the internal resistance since it's vary for every dry cell. Okay, so disebabkan percentage of uncertainty kita besar. Okay, there are several errors occur during the experiment. Okay, so number 1 and number 2 lah. Alright, next adalah precaution. Actually precaution ni dah ada dalam pre-lab. So you just salin ataupun you boleh tengok lah. Kalau sekarang ni Precaution yang dia kata have been taken to reduce all the errors. First adalah avoid too many wires and a long wires to reduce energy loss. And then about the joki, kita mesti tapping lah, jangan slide ataupun dragging untuk reduce energy loss. Then open the switch when they're not taking a reading to reduce energy loss. Most of kebanyakannya untuk buat eksperimen potentiometer ni memang dia melibatkan energy loss, dan reading dia sangat susah nak dapat. That's why graph you akan dapat macam pelik lah. Okay, so saya harap you boleh siapkan lab report lah, maksudnya writing report eksperimen 3, dan submit this week lah. Okay, this week. Okay, thank you and bye. Okay, next untuk conclusion, you jawab balik you punya objektif from experiment. The internal resistance of the rice cell was determined ke, macam tu lah. Dan state lah value dia berapa. Okay.